Hi guys. Welcome to Luca Tech TY. In this video we will talk unknown facts about space tourism. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for future updates. Let's start. We investigate the expanding field of commercial space travel and assess whether the advantages of making space a travel destination outweigh the disadvantages. Despite being an intriguing concept in principle, space tourism is not without its detractors. Today, we will examine the benefits and drawbacks of space tourism, pose inquiries about the billionaire space race, and consider if it will usher in a new era or cause a global ecological disaster. You might be asking what exactly distinguishes space tourism from other forms of space travel. The major distinction is that space tourism refers to human spaceflight for pleasure or amusement. As is the case with all tourism, the primary goal is therefore for human enjoyment. There are three types of space tourism: orbital, suborbital, and lunar. Advantages of space tourism: a new perspective on the world. The most breathtaking vista mankind have ever seen, the mind-blowing experience, and a fresh viewpoint on Earth are currently what commercial space travelers find most alluring. The fact that some people can make their dream of visiting space a reality is an enormous accomplishment because most people grow up thinking they would never travel to space. The ability to experience microgravity, where they will be able to feel weightless on the spacecraft for a few minutes, is another significant benefit of space travel for passengers. They may not see the world differently now, but they will undoubtedly feel happier as a result. Scientific research. Though the most recent flights may not have been lengthy enough to provide much information, there are a few scientific advantages to space travel. Longer space missions in the future will provide us the chance to examine long-term physiological changes in people brought on by being in space. Compared to other forms of space travel, space tourism has a different objective. Without a question, scientists and astronauts might conduct significant scientific study in the International Space Station, the Moon, or even on another planet, but would tourism advance science? A potential future on a Moon or Mars colony. Preparing to establish a colony on the Moon or Mars for research purposes or even as a sort of backup plan in case Earth catches fire is one of the long-term objectives of space tourism. It's true that more regular people will need to be allowed to travel to space for this to happen, even though scientists and astronauts would need to undertake a lot of the research and preparation. In this sense, space travel could be a terrific place to start. Disadvantages of space tourism. Of course, not all the news is exciting. We are going to look at some of the significant drawbacks of space travel in more detail. The expense and accessibility of space travel. The outrageous cost of spaceship passenger tickets has already been discussed. Currently, Virgin Galactic flights cost between $200,000 and $250,000. While Blue Origin and SpaceX have not yet announced their ticket rates, we do know some general information. This amount of money illustrates the seriousness of wealth inequality because it is evidently very difficult to obtain. Giving the wealthiest individuals exclusive access to something revolutionary seems to honor wealth with the highest honor. The environmental cost to the planet. It's finally time to talk about the significant environmental cost of space travel. With good reason, this is one of the main worries people have about the possibility of frequent, commercial space travel. Some of the most pressing environmental issues are covered below. Large carbon footprint. According to UCL professor of physical geography Eloise Mere, taking a long-haul aircraft has a carbon footprint that is around 100 times greater than using a rocket to travel into space. This is partially due to the minimal number of passengers that spacecraft can hold. In our blog post, we explain what a carbon footprint is and how to lessen your own. Depleting ozone layer. Space travel can harm the ozone layer in several different ways. On average, passengers produce 50 to 100 times higher CO2 emissions than a passenger on a lengthy journey. In essence, a reduced ozone layer makes it easier for greenhouse gases to warm the Earth, which contributes to global warming. You can read our blog post on greenhouse gases to have a better understanding of this process, and our climate change guide to think about the outcome. Polluted stratosphere. The soot cloud that rockets produce is one of the main environmental issues with space tourism. Between 5 and 31 miles above Earth, in the stratosphere, soot can gather because the weather cannot wash it away. Final thoughts: is it worth it? Is space travel an important and exciting development in science, or is it the least environmentally friendly kind of travel ever, favoring the wealthy and ignoring those who need assistance on Earth? The plans for space tourism that billionaires are currently developing may be too ambitious, and might not be focused on the right things. Space exploration and research could have many benefits for Earth, including new ideas and resources that could help us live longer and more comfortably. Regular short trips to space for the enjoyment of the wealthy may not be in the best interest of Earth. If you're interested in learning more about the future of humanity in space, you can enroll onto the Future of Life course with Louisa Preston. This course provides a more thoughtful and scientific approach to the issue. So this is our today's video, guys. If you like my video, don't forget to subscribe my channel or hit the bell icon.